I'm doing a big favor and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you. To my returning subs, my growing, we're all going through certain things. There's a lot of things that's coming into our life and separating our life that we don't have the answers for. But why is it the way it is? Being said, much love to and have not already, please like and subscribe, even hit that note me, even if it's about the positive feedback of the content of my video, or you're just up, tell me about your empathic gift and how it impacted your life and heading you towards a positive direction. If you find the videos uplifting or give you good vibes or even good information that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or friend, or even a fellow empath or going through some trying times and need spiritual guidance or just need confirmation or validation towards the life path or soul purpose, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give me a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. Thank you once again for the love and support. It's so greatly appreciated. And I hope that you're able to resonate with the content of my video. And today, the beautiful background music is called Indian Flute Meditation, Divine Classical Instruments Music for Meditation, Yoga, and Healing. And I will post that link in the description box below. And my video today is Twin Flame 101, Heyokas, knowing that things are being removed from your life for your benefit. There's a lot of things that's, since we're on this spiritual uh spiritual awakening, we go through trials and tribulations and stuff like that, and there could be people that you thought you were going to be be connected to, for life or whatever. All of a sudden they just start falling back, or God has you turn your back on them, or vice versa. You're going through breakups, you know losing jobs and stuff like that. It can be really, really hard for you. There's people that I've connected with that I never thought I would, want to live without. And it's just like, through my situation, it's really been hard, but it's actually been humbling as well. It's been a life experience because it allowed me, at first I was just like, this is messed up. I've been there for these people. And then when time came, when I was going through these, really trying things, heavy things, dark things, I didn't really have anybody to talk to, going through different stages of my life. There was so many different things. It didn't matter, person, place, places, or things, anything that was separated from my life. Being with my ex, it was not the best thing in the world. But being with that man for almost 20, 21 years, that's a long time to be with somebody and you're not married and stuff like that. But it was like common law marriage, where we stayed at before. But it's like when I can sit, certain situations will come into your life if you really look at it from a positive viewpoint. Your perception is changed on what the universe was. Why did they take them out your life? Because a lot of times, like I tell anybody, when you go through your spiritual awakening, go through a spiritual attack, just a spiritual just change, going through a spiritual cycle where nothing's going to be the same. I used to be addicted to weed. Um, Alcohol, not really alcohol. I wasn't really like a drinker, just make margaritas or something like that, or have a glass of wine, or and chain smoke cigarettes since I was like in my 20s, and I'm like 42. And it's a blessing to me because it's like after I went through my situation, it was like, you can drop one habit and then pick up another one. I used to drink really heavy, and then when I started smoking weed, I just very, rarely had something to drink unless it was on the weekends or something like that, or a special occasion. But other than that, I found my comfort through smoking cigarettes, like chain smoking, like back to back to back. I put one up to my mouth recently to see if I could. I was like, oh, it tastes so nasty. It's like, oh, I almost choked, I almost died. I felt my life flashing before my eyes. I was just no way in hell. And it's like, it really stinks to me. And I'm just so proud of myself because dealing with what I dealt with, I can really look at it now like that was my coping mechanism on how to get through it. And it was like the universe separated me from that. All of a sudden, when I was smoking weed, it was either messing with my heart, like my heart felt like it was going to come out my chest, or I couldn't breathe, I was constantly choking, or the people, my plugs that I would deal with that would supply it for me, all of a sudden, either they went to jail, or their number changed, or we get into an argument, or it was like different things. The universe was like separating them from my life. Like, you don't need to be dealing with this. You don't have to, you know, go through this. You need to be able to face it head on without any kind of stimulants in your life. After finding out who my father was, it was like people I've been friends with for years. Like, some of them are still from high school. And, and finding out a lot of things, people changed. They looked at me different, going through all this. And it was like people turned their back on me in the worst possible way. And I felt so hurt because I was always there for them. Anytime they needed somebody to talk to, I was there. And it was like so many people cut out my life, or there'll be certain incidences that my job was changing, where couldn't stand being at a certain job. I know there's probably some people out there probably complaining. I used to have to smoke a blunt before I went to work just to be able to deal with the things that I had to deal with. And now it's just like I'm able to, not every day is easy for me, but I can at least say, you know what, just cry about it, just be vocal. I talk to my spirit guides all the time. I talk to my mom, my dad, even my sister that has passed on. I just do all that and just express, look, I'm tired of going through this. I'm stressed out. It's like one thing after another. When am I going to be able to get a break? Because it's like the vibes I was giving out was so dark, so toxic, because I was like so concentrated on what my family did to me. And it was just like, it's human when you can just figure out that, it's people on the street that you might be used to somebody doing some trifling stuff to you. But when it comes from family is like, this is the only people I knew. This is the only people I had left because my mom passed away. And all I had was her husband and his wife and her family. And it was like, when I found out the truth on everything, it really put me in a dark place. It was like I felt like I was about to lose my mind. Like, they really did this to me. They, did this, that, and the third. And it was just like me being able to deal with that. And it's like, yes, this is what happened. Because my dad already told me, right? It was like right after his passing, and we connected on that frame of mind, because it was like it was always separated. And when we were finally going through that, he was telling me, he had to do that little chuckle, like, oh, wow, this is going to be really messed up. He was like, are you ready for this? And I'm like, I'd rather be, hurt from the truth instead of a lie. And it was just like, all of a sudden I started having night terrors, and universe prepared me and start allowing me to see, just there'll be certain things. If you have a twin flame, you can hear them whispering in your ear. My dad would ask me certain things to ask them just so he can be able to hear what the response was going to be. And my dad wasn't kind of happy with the things that was being said. But, all those different things has occurred in my life. And it's just like now when I can look at it, I'm so glad that half of the people that I was dealing with is no longer in my life, and it would be at times people, they would know what they did to me, and then they will have nerve to come back. And it was just like, now it was like when you can basically get that, if your intuition is telling you something's not right about a situation, take your gut feeling, listen to your intuition. There has to be a lot of times you just have to walk away towards certain things. There's a reason why, people are, you can't put lifetime expectations on seasonal people. There's a lot of times universe will test you with those certain people. If you already knew, these people were not, elevating you at all. They were keeping you at a low frequency, keeping you pessimistic, blocking your blessings from you. A lot of times universe will block your blessings just because of the people you're dealing with. So there, you go down this path, and I always tell people I connect with, not everybody's going to be around you like it was when you first started the journey going towards the end. You'll be lucky if you have 4 or 5 of the same people that you are still dealing with at the beginning. It's a blessing when you can actually have somebody to turn to during those hard times of struggle. But it was with me. There was my mom's close friends that has new. I've told people this before, but I know there's some new people that are just now starting to subscribe to me. It's just like I had godparents that my mom was really close with, and they knew about my situation. It was my mom's dying declaration. If I never, while she was still living, if I didn't find out my parents and get ready to meet my biological father, they knew that my mom knew that my her ex-husband and his wife did not want me to know. So he was like, please help her. I'm dying right now, and I can't tell her all this. This is just too much for her to deal with at one time. She's like, I'm already dying. I don't need her to find out this during this time. So it was like there was people who knew that I really considered my godparents that I had to separate from, because they did not, when it came to me asking about that, I can tell they're very apprehensive, because of all the things that, they were just paying attention to the monetary thing. The materialistic thing is not about a child needing to know her family. They weren't looking at it like that, because just who my dad was, they did not want that for me. So I had to exit out a lot of people out of my life that I grew up with, is looking up to them as a parent when I wasn't around my mom. And that was a real hard thing for me. But now I'm looking at it, I was like, I'm glad you took them out of my life. I'm fine about it. My kids were like, but mom, it don't matter. And if you make me feel some type of way about you, and it's like, I'm the type of person now, if they come by, I'll be cordial, but I'm gonna keep it short. I'm gonna keep it really short. If it was meant for me to say something, a lot of time universe will place people back in your life just for you to be able to get that closure. Just like, okay, it was presented to me during my daughter's graduation. I had to see my mom's ex-husband and his wife, and it took a lot out of me because I was scared. Not the fact is I'm scared on what they were going to do to me. I was scared what I was going to do to them, or if I was going to say something. But I had to put myself in that right frame of mind. This is your daughter's graduation, and this is your graduation as well, because you need to get closure from these people and walk off. They tried to find any and everything for me to be talking to them, for me to be giving out information. No, I'm not about to do that. I said, just because I tolerated you for that day, oh, baby, that was just closure. And I had to be honest enough and tell them that. I didn't get rude. I didn't get mad. They were trying to invite me over a barbecue. Oh, thank you. But that was your last time seeing me on purpose, on purpose. So I had to go through all these things. And I was very, very happy about the situation. There's people that are still in my life that I continue to talk to, that I've known since high school, but there's a lot of people I've cut out of my life, because of the benefit of me. Not everybody's supposed to stay in your life like that. I remember I was traumatized going through this grieving process when they separated me from my ex. And that was the time I was like, I'm going through this grief and I needed somebody. And why would you have him leave? I didn't realize how toxic the whole situation really truly was. It's like, you present something to somebody, next thing you know, the whole damn world knew it. So it was like I had to be very careful about the things that I presented out to people. Going through this has really been hard. It's just like, it's already bad enough it is when you find out that you're adopted. But when you find out you're adopted, and it's like the fact is this is a very well-known person, that was a lot to deal with. But it's just like I got to know things that I needed to know. Yes, there was things that was very hard for me to deal with, but I know everything has a reason for happening the way it does. When they're preparing you for your breakthrough, a lot of people on your path is going to have to be separated from you. Yes, it can be a hurtful situation when God is allowing certain, obviously I must be saying something good because them daggone lights are starting to flick. But you know, when you're going through certain situations in your life, it can be very hurtful. It can be very, hard, and you will be placed in a dark situation where you feel like, what, I was there for these people and they weren't there for me. I've even had friends of mine that I connect with, and they putting it on Facebook or whatever, like, I've been here for this person, this, that, and the third. And then when I actually needed somebody, they weren't there. And I had to tell them, I said, look, sis, be grateful for the people that were there. It's just like a lot of times the universe will shed light on certain people in your life just for you to know that is not the person you need to be hanging out with. Dark times expose fake people. And I just did a video about that the other day. Dark times really expose fake people. When you have people, a lot of times people will stay around you just to make sure you don't have your come up. So a lot of times you have to be able to go through that. There was times I used to sit up here and put out what I was planning to do. And the next thing you know, it didn't happen. Yeah, you shouldn't have said that, because somebody sat up here and tried to block you on that because they didn't want that to happen. So now it's just like, I just concentrate on the now. There are certain empaths that come towards me and try to read me just to see what am I planning. That's why I don't focus on anything for the future. I just think about now. I worry about now. I already know what has been set up for me. What is going to be for me will be for me. But right now, you have to be able to concentrate on what is going on right now, because the things that you learn right now is going to be that critical thing that's going to take you further than you even thought you were. So a lot of times, yes, it hurts when God snatches people out your life. Universe, have you separated from a lot of people. You can be in a situation where you're dating somebody and all of a sudden they had to leave town, and they had to get transferred, they got a job out of the state. God will separate you from people. A lot of times you be praying for a relationship and God's trying to sit up here and do everything he can just to tear that mess apart. So you have to be able to understand why they're doing certain things, because they'll come evident towards you when you need to find out about this, because it's like it was a hurtful situation for me. There's people I've known for years. They were like, Roslynn, why didn't you ever tell me this? There's a lot, like I've always told people, I might tell you certain things, but there's a lot of things about people you will not know. You'll be surprised. And I said, dealing with this situation, I said, I see how y'all acting now. You think I would have told you back then? So I'm not going to go ahead and do that. It was like a lot of things, even my kids couldn't understand, but I told them, I said, you ever notice, like, when you ask me stuff about my childhood, I get very skittish about that and want to change the subject, because me talking about my childhood would make me relive certain things that I was trying so desperate to forget. I brought up a lot of dark things, and it's just like what I went through. I would never wish that on the worst, on my worst enemy. I really wouldn't, because a child shouldn't have been exposed to certain things I've been exposed to. Things shouldn't have been done to me that these appeared to me. I was getting punished because of things that I had no reason to know. My dad was sitting up here coming through, during my dreams. And I would sit up here and tell them, hey, I dreamt of my dad being a superhero, and he snatched up a bag of money like they do in the cartoons. You see dollars flying all over the place. And my dad sitting up here saying, I'm going to take you to your real family. They're not going to get you or this money. And all of a sudden they took me to a therapist, like, oh, she's having night terrors, because I would scream, saying I want my dad. And I've been doing that since I was like 3, 4 years old. And then, when my mom's husband will come in, I'll snatch away from him real quick. And he's like, why are you snatching away from me? You were just calling me. I said, no, I wasn't. He was like, you said, Daddy. I know I did, but it wasn't you. And I used to always say that. It was like when I was 5 years old, I had tears in my eyes because I would wake up and I would have crying spells. And my mom was like, what's wrong? I said, I need my thing. I didn't know what my thing was. I couldn't describe it to him because I didn't know what was going on. And being able to deal with that. And then, my mom's ex-husband would come towards me, and I would be very snappy with him. I would get mad and stay cross with him at being 5 years old. And he was like, why are you so angry with me? Why are you crying? And then I just put my hand on his face saying, you're going to break my heart one day. And my mom was like, that girl knows something. You trying to sit up here and deny her that, because I would get punished anytime, I brought up my dad. Or, my mom was trying to ask me, hey, when he calls, can you, ask him for some tickets so we can go see him in concert and stuff like that. And, it was just really weird, going through all these different things. So it's like universe is allowing me to relive my childhood, reliving the things that I've suppressed. So it was like a lot of things that I was going through that I didn't think my mind or my heart would be able to handle. But going through all the different situations I went through, and God has, took a lot of people out of my life. Universes did the same thing, to where, you could be needing somebody to really, talk to and stuff like that. You could be trying to call somebody, they wouldn't answer the phone, or you could be texting somebody and they would never return the text back. That's the universe is telling you, you need to be able to handle it on your own. Don't tell them about what's going on with you. There are certain things that will be cut off, will be separated, but that's for your benefit and your benefit only. You have to really look at it. Why are they trying to separate me from these people? Why did every time certain people come around, all this bad energy comes towards me? Or, there's always drama popping off. That's when God and universe is allowing you to say, see this person right here, they're bringing too much stuff to you. I'm trying to get you, I anointed you for something, positive, and these people are coming to you with some negative. Separate. Take them out your life, or they'll take them out of there for you. And if the universe got to do that, it's not going to be pleasant. So allow yourself to see the things that universe and God is trying to teach you. When they're trying to remove people out of your life, it's for your benefit and your benefit alone. So I hope you were able to resonate with the content of my video. I'm going to give a post notification shout out to Treasured Seasons. Much love to you. I hope everything's good. And, like and subscribe. Drop me a line. Let me know if you resonate. Give me a thumbs up. Even share. If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. Know that you are truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved. And knowing there's always somebody out there praying for your better days. Now, I hope and pray everything that you're working on comes to your life in a very near future. And send out as much love and light and positivity as you possibly can. Know that your kind words can really take somebody a long way. And I'll see you on my next video. Much love. Peace.